the end of the probation period, my son got sick and hospitalized.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the day when I have to sign the contract. So I have to make decision. You have to sign a
Yeah.
contract, but your son is hospitalized. How does
Uh-huh.
it feel?
Welcome to Asian Fempreneur, and this is our very first time, so it's our kick-off series. I'm so excited. Here with me is Y from Jakarta, Indonesia. Hello, Y.
Hello.
Y here is a founder of Kakha Series, which is a clothing line for children. And maybe Y wants to say something about it. Just a brief intro about yourself and your business.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It's the very first time I'm talking to public about this business. So bear with me if I can't talk too much. I'm a mother of 3-year-old son. I started this business like 3 years ago, but I'm not really sure about that because actually we really started just 6 months ago. Make it serious.
So yeah, so what's the difference between Kakha Series and other children clothing line?
The unique thing about Kakha Series is that we offer a modern clothing line, yet a Muslim-based clothing. It's unique because not many brands go into this modern yet Muslim clothing. Most of them are so into Muslim and some others are so into modern. We are offering a product that goes in the middle and fit both sides.
How many staff do you have so far in Kakha Series now that it's been 6 months since you're running it for official?
In total, it's about 30 people. 26 of them are full-time workers, while four of them are like a part-time staff. So they just come when we need them.
Wow, that's amazing. Now that we talk about staff, who else are managing the company?
It was started with only me, like it's only me, literally only me. I'm by myself.
Okay,
But
cool.
yes, it's only I and myself. Then when we scale up, I feel like I need help, so I asked my husband to resign from his office. I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, that's a big decision. Let's talk about it. He resigned. All of the production thing was
Mm-hmm.
handled by him,
Mm-hmm.
while I'm managing the marketing and sales department.
Wow. It's nice to have such a supportive husband.
Well, yeah, he support me because he also enjoy this, and we built this together before we scaled up. Even though it's me that do the business, but he also helped me most of the production thing. Although he work in the office, but he spent some times in the weekend just to manage the production. So it's actually not only me,
Mm-hmm.
but my husband was just part time. But now we both of us do this full time. It's nice, really.
It is actually as a partner, as a couple, you help each other not just in your personal life, but then into a professional life as well. Kind of like a couple goal, I would say.
We sort it out because for this I work in a company. Are you aware of that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I work when my husband resigned, I decided to work.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually was the one who managed this business since we scaled up. During the working time, I feel like no, I cannot do this work because Kakak will be abandoned. I mean, not abandoned, but he needs support, and I also miss doing this. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like Kakak was losing her soul. So it's just 2 or 3 months, and then I resign. So I get back to Kakak, and we do the scale up thing.
I see. We're gonna talk about more on the why you choose to leave your work later on. If we can go back to the business part, I want to talk also about the finance part of it. How are you managing with the finances?
It just goes by. I don't know how to mention it. Well, it was started like only 500,000 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 500,000. But it was not a serious business. I mean, it's just killing time because
Mm-hmm.
I am a stay-at-home mom and I need something to do. I was stressed out, so my husband said, "Okay, let's start the business." But it was not that big enough, and then we
Mm-hmm.
moved to the UK because I did my master degree in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Kakak was like just running, but it's not like that big. And then just last year before Eid Fitri,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, let's do this more seriously because I feel like there is a potential with Kakha. So we started producing clothes for children.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the very first time. Before that, we just randomly sell sweater. So we sell clothing, and it turns out that the response was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We sell like 100 pieces in a month. That was huge for me during that time because it was just me and my husband.
Yeah.
And then we go on and go on and go on, and then by the end of the year, we sell like 300 pieces in a month. We were like, okay, let's scale this up and take it more serious. We make the business plan, we do the all the budgeting stuff and the sales forecast, product design, and all of planning stage. And we were like, okay, how do we get money for all this invest for all this scaling up thing? We were just having two tailor, and we want to scale up to have like 20 tailors. It was like, okay, how do we get like 10 times? And then I met this mentor. He was the one who supported me when I was in the university, when I did my bachelor degree. I have a foundation, and he was the one who donated for our foundation. So I talked to him. I said, I want to make a business and I need 200 million, I said.
Mm-hmm.
But then he answered, if you want to have a business, make it big. Don't do like halving, 200 million was just so small, he thought.
Okay.
He offered me 2 billion. I was like, no way, 2 billion is too big. My business plan, we just could go up to 1 billion. So after the calculation, he agreed. It was like 1 billion in the beginning. But during the scaling up stage, we only spent 750, 100 million,
Mm-hmm.
and we start making profit. So actually, we didn't spend that much,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beyond our expectation. We start making profit after spend 750. In January, we start this whole thing, scale up thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in March, we start making profit. In June, already reach the break-even point and make more profit. So basically, the 750, 100 is already paid off, and now we are running by our own budget.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, that's so fast. I
Yeah.
mean, it's beyond our calculation actually.
I remember you posted your status and then you got the ding and then you're happy and I'm so wow, I'm also happy for you as well. Is there any tip or kind of motivation of what compels you to say to get that funding of 1 billion?
Funding is a bit tricky. We
Mm-hmm.
met another investor
Mm-hmm.
before I talked to this mentor. The first investor was like, she wants a big shares of the company,
Mm.
and she also wants to take a part in managing the company. So I don't feel comfortable enough. Somehow, this is just so small business. I believe if she takes over the business will, share two souls in one small bowl, which is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for any of you who are looking for funding, I suggest to find the right investor who has the same vision, the same tone. With this investor, he didn't ask for shares at
Mm-hmm.
all. I mean, it's like it's an angel investor.
Mm-hmm.
But as a professional, we talk like, okay, even though you don't need this money, but we will give you like the, X of
Mm-hmm.
the ownership, but it's still ours. The majority of the shares is still ours, and he just, nice to have. We are thinking of giving back the money because we already stand on our own. As you know, we have reached the break even point, and then the money is coming back. So we think that will be nicer if we give back the money and we stand in our own. So if any of you think of scaling up, find the right investor that has the same vision as your business.
Yeah, I think it's a very useful tip and good to know because there are lots of venture capital, there are lots of investors. It's always a conundrum for startups to consider whether allow some people to have some shares in their company, but in exchange of a huge funding or compensate their control. So it is good to know.
Besides, the most interesting part of this investment is that we have the same vision to empower others. Unlike the first investor who was very profit oriented, this second was more okay, how to be more beneficial for others, how we can create more value to others. So that kind of tone add more spirits to us. He also help us to some suggestion, some supportive suggestion on how to run a social business. I don't mean like we are into social, but we are based on a social value to create value for others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what makes this very interesting.
And you said the founder is your mentor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. He
Okay.
was my mentor when I was in the bachelor degree. He
Okay.
was actually my lecturer in entrepreneurship course.
See, so the importance of networking.
Yes, he was very supporting. When I started my foundation like 8 years ago, I started the foundation with zero money.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I know your value. Let's do it together. And then he donated and he fund most of the activities of the foundation.
What sort of foundation was that?
It's actually a foundation that is aimed to help children with financial difficulties
Mm-hmm.
to obtain higher degree. So we basically providing scholarship and mentorship
Mm.
starting from primary school up to universities. We provide scholarship for so many children basically. Now some of them have already graduated from the universities. One of them is pursuing master degree in the Egypt. That's basically what we did. So we were looking for a talent from the rural area in Indonesia, if you know Bawean Island. So we help those children in that island to come to Java Island and get better education. Then we provide mentorship and then we provide scholarship so that they can move back to their island and give back to the society.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. But it was like 8 years or 5 years ago before I got married.
Well, you have some experience of managing and running an organization at least. Let's talk about yourself. Now that you have a foundation, now you have run a Kakha Series, have you always been wanting to start a business ever since you were a kid?
I made this life plan when I was in the university when I did my bachelor degree, but not this soon. I
Mm-hmm.
was planning to work in a multinational company and did my master degree, and I thought that I will go back to multinational company as I previously did. Maybe I wanted to start a business when I was 30 or 40, when I was settled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That it's common for people to feel like I want to get settled first and then make a business,
Yeah.
but it turns out that I have to start earlier. I well, that's surprising for me because I didn't expect this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
When I was pregnant, I cannot work because the pregnancy was kind of tough,
Mm-hmm.
you know, morning sick and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
stayed at home and I got frustrated because I have no friends. And my husband said, okay, you can do whatever you wanted to do, just do a business from home.
Mm-hmm.
That was the very first time I started a business, but I didn't think that it was gonna be. Just last year, when I was thinking of going back to work, I miss working so much. After graduation, I didn't work. I have to stay at home. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I want to work,
Mm-hmm.
but my son, I couldn't leave my son alone.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do the business. Let's do the business. And then my husband said, okay, let's do it. I'm fine with that. We
Mm-hmm.
start a business and it turns out very well. It grows really fast in a pace that beyond our expectation. And
Mm-hmm.
my husband said, okay, if this is perspective, let's do this. I will support you. And then if you want to go back to work, go back to work. I will resign, he said. So that was the time I work because
Okay.
I really miss the environment of working. It's
Uh-huh.
been a year, it's been several years I didn't work. I miss my friend, I miss those morning routines and all this stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I quit Kakha and I work. My husband do all the things with Kakha, but it
Mm.
turns out that no, this is not my life. I'm not who I was. I don't want to be a working mom because it's not me.
Mhm, mhm.
It's not me. I mean, I'm not comfortable of leaving my baby while meeting other people. It's just
Mm.
doesn't feel safe for me. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not long. It's like 3 months, and then I resign. So
Mm.
okay, let's make it more serious. We start the business. It was just off my plan. I didn't know that this will happen very soon, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's nice. I mean, that's life. You don't it doesn't always go as your plan, right?
Yeah. Sometimes like the best thing happen without us understanding that is actually the best, but turns out it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, your husband's role and support is very important in this whole
Yes, it
journey
is.
as well.
It was a very hard decision, if you want to know. When I said I want to work, if both of us work, this business will be abandoned and it will not grow.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to work. I need to work because I miss all those environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I start the selection, the recruitment
Mm-hmm.
process. It was like 7 stages of selection. I didn't even expect that I will be accepted, but
Okay.
I just do the selection anyway. And my husband was very supportive. He said, "Okay, if you want to work, just go to work. I can resign." During that recruitment process, it takes like 2 months. I feel like, is it okay or not? I just do the test by half of my heart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get into that place, but I'm not really sure if I want to go. But my husband said, just go, just do your best. So okay, if you were selected, then it was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you failed the test, it means that you have to be a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that I got accepted. So we were confused. What does this mean? It was 7 stages and I was selected. And my husband said, now you are confused. You have to decide. Okay.
That's like the
But
dilemma where we all want to be at.
yeah, because some part of my heart I don't want to work
Uh-huh.
because I love my baby, I love Kakak so much. But the other me said, "You have to work. You are bored at home. You have nothing to do." My husband said, "So yes, just do it. You can try. You can give
Mm-hmm.
it a go. If you feel good, you can go on. If you don't feel good, just quit." But I said it's not that simple because I have to sign a contract
Mm,
which
yeah.
doesn't allow me to quit as easy. But lucky that we have this probation period. It's a government
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
I have to, fully dedicate my time until I got a pension, my
Mm-hmm.
old. That was a huge commitment. My husband said, "Give it a go. If you are good, then that will be fine."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just do it. So the very first time I left my child, I left Kakak, it feels really bad. Maybe because I didn't work for like 5 years. So that was the very first time I go back to work. I feel confused. But I just do it. After 2 months or 3 months, I didn't feel comfortable. At the end of the probation period, my son got sick and hospitalized.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the day when I have to sign the contract. So I have to make decision. You have to sign a
Yeah.
contract, but your son is hospitalized. How does
Uh-huh.
it feel? And I said to my husband, maybe this is the sign that I have to resign because my son was sick and I have to go to work. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not possible to do both of them. Well, we think again and discuss, and think again and discuss.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so, it happens so fast. And then I discussed with my mentor in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and we have several consideration, but in the end I decided, okay, the best decision would be resign.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, here I am.
Mm.
That's a tough decision though, but yeah.
Yeah. It's like you were given a trial. Okay, you want to work. Okay, here you go. You go to work. And then turns out that you may enjoy, you may not, but then like, okay, this thing happened. So choose which one is your priority. It's kind of
Yes,
like that, isn't
exactly.
it?
Something like that, because the idea is that I want to give back to the country which has previously funded my master degree. So it feels like I have responsibility to give back to the nation. It feels bad when my neighbor said, "Oh, it's so bad that you didn't go to work and just be a stay-at-home mom while the country has paid full scholarship for you. What a waste."
Mm.
One said that. I feel bad because I think that I have this responsibility to give back to the nation
Mm-hmm.
if I don't go back to work. That's why I try to work. It turns out that working is not the only way you give back to the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I start this company. We help 30 people. We pay tax. I believe that's also another way of giving back to the nation. So it
Yeah.
doesn't always going back to work, not always going back to the government institution. No, there are many other ways to give back to the nation.
Absolutely. I really salute you for coming to that conclusion that it's not working in a government related organization. It's not the only way to give back of what you had, but there's other ways as well.
Yes, there are many other ways. It's not the only way. Well, it is a way, but it's not the only way.
You mentioned about getting a scholarship from the government itself. So, how does your education journey actually contributes to your building business or your startup experiences?
I believe that was a significant influence to me because from the master degree, I learned a lot about innovation, which I previously didn't know anything at all. I did business management for my bachelor degree, but it was just the very basic of it. When I did my master degree, we learned about that innovation is not always a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be Newton or you don't have to be Mark Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
But innovation can means just adding value, even the small value, adding a
Mm-hmm.
small value is an innovation. That's the turning point.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started Kakha, I was thinking of there is this market of Muslim clothing line,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't see anything that matched my style for my son.
Mm-hmm.
We need a style for young Muslim family to have more modern and vibrant kind of clothes and simple, nice color. So I think yes, that's an innovation. What I learned at the university becomes foundation to create the product. And I
Mm-hmm.
also learned that how we develop a product,
Mm-hmm.
there is this continuous improvement, but we also have to create minimum viable product, which is just fine. It's not perfect, it's just fine, but it
Mm-hmm.
has value. That's what we did last year. Basically, we just throw a product which is in the minimum viable and we see the response from the market and then we improve until we are sure enough that this product is potential and then we scale up.
Mm-hmm.
So basically so many things in the university affects the way I think about business even though we don't do that huge innovation as the business title, business and innovation. I didn't do that huge innovation. We just add small incremental value to our
Mm-hmm.
product which helps other to solve their needs.
It's good that your education is actually helpful for what you're gonna do next.
Well, that's a lot. If you remember, we did the business planning thing,
Oh yes,
business
yes,
planning and finance thing.
yeah.
That's that scrap Excel file that helped me a lot when I did the business planning.
Mm-hmm.
All the numbers, all the projections, that kind of stuff. I really did it with my husband. To be honest, we didn't sleep for like I don't know, few days
Mm-hmm.
to do the business planning, to do the business finance planning. We revise, present, and then we revise again. As you know, that was what we did, right? When we did
Yes.
the master degree. So
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like going back to the university and feels like, okay, let's do this, but for real. So you don't have to delay the time, just do it for real. So we put all the effort to design the business plan. During that time, I also did the recruitment process for the central bank. So
Ah, okay.
half of my brain goes to the business planning stuff, but
Uh-huh.
half of my brain I learn for the test. It feels weird,
Uh-huh.
Some of you want to run the business, but some others want to go back to work and give something to the nation.
Right.
That happens, and many things from the university helped me to go through that I call it dirty stage.
How do you manage your time between your family, between work, and basically having some time to self care? I hope you have time for self care.
Well, yes, absolutely. If otherwise, I will go crazy, you know. I am very blessed to have a very supportive husband. That's the major thing in my life. He
Mm-hmm.
was a great man who always support me.
Mm-hmm.
What we did was we divide our time. During the day, he works and I will do the babysitting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
During the night, we have those discussion about the business plan, segmentation, targeting, and all those stuff. We do it at night when the baby sleep. I don't have any nanny. I don't have any housekeeper. So basically, it was just me and the baby because my husband doesn't really like to have a nanny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First, we don't really trust anyone to handle the baby, and second, we want that private house just for us. It doesn't feel good if we have other coming to our house. Yes, we divide our time. My husband worked, I stayed at home, and then at night we have that discussion until the next morning. It was tough. We were running out of time, really. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to sleep all day, but it feels like my body was full of adrenaline. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to think about it, even though at night I couldn't sleep because I feel like I want to do this very badly, you know. And
Mm.
also my husband feel the same. So what we did was just have discussion. We didn't sleep for a couple nights, but it turns out that it paid all of the effort. And currently we just divide our time again. Usually my husband come to the office, to Kakha office,
Mm-hmm.
in the morning
Mm-hmm.
till the noon, and then from 1 p.m. to 5 it was me in the office. So we divide our time. While I'm
Mm.
in the office, he was at home doing the babysitting stuff.
Mm-mm.
And on the other hand, in the morning, I am at home doing the babysitting stuff. So
Mm.
basically, my baby is still on control.
And it's actually make it more efficient as well by dividing the time within your
Yes.
husband and yourself.
So we have employees, so we can delegate the works. It's not only us. We just come to the office when we need to.
So while doing this Kakha series, do you find any challenges in terms of social, cultural, or even religious barrier? And if there's, how do you manage them?
I don't think there is any cultural barriers. All the challenges comes from the inside. As we start this company last December, like 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
all team members are new except the production manager. He
Mm-hmm.
was the one who did the production since we produced the very first clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that he messed up. Basically, what I want to say is that the earlier stage was hard from the internal challenges. It's not from the outside challenges.
Okay.
How we build the team because everyone is new except him. So we are trying to help all the team to adapt with this new system while we are also building the new system.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tailor itself are not very familiar with our quality,
Mm-hmm.
so they need sometimes to adjust the quality. So the production was very slow during the beginning,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then the production manager messed up, you know.
Okay.
So it was hard, it was very hard. And during that time I work, and it was my husband all
Uh-huh.
alone. We are lucky that we identify the problem. The new manager, the new production manager was very great. He helped the tailor to, to increase the skill.
Mm-hmm.
They increased the skill. There was kind of training. He also helped the tailor when they are having difficulties and explain the best way to create the clothes and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 months, we are trying to settle down the team member.
Mm-hmm.
And the third month, our marketing staff resigned. I was
Oh,
like, what? No, you were with us since last year. Why did you resign? Because he said he was still a student in the university.
uh-huh.
He was in last year, so he had to do the final paper,
Okay.
final dissertation.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he needs time to do the dissertation. If he work, he cannot focus. Okay, the third month was hard because we have to find a new marketing admin. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that easy because the one who faced the customers has to understand the value of Kakha. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just understanding the product, but how to understand how we communicate with the customer. We tried some, and then it's not suitable, resign, then find another admin, all those period until we actually find one person who match our criteria. Because that one position is very central in marketing and sales, the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the team will follow this one.
I see.
So that was hard. So the challenge comes from the inside, not from the outside. But lucky that we are now almost, settling down a bit.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, all companies are gonna have some similar problem. Hopefully not, but that's generally how it is.
Well, that's how you learn. If you don't have
Yeah.
that kind of problem, you wouldn't grow. I mean, we grow as we face challenges, right?
Right, it is. It is. Do you have any message for those aspiring to start their own businesses, especially for young girls and young women, even if it's in Indonesia or in other parts of Asia?
If you feel like you want to have a business, give it a go. Don't think about if you will fail or if you will success. Just give it a go first. That is how you learn. If you fail, you learn something. If you success, you learn something. And that's how you grow. If you feel like enjoying it, even if it's not profitable yet, maybe it's worth to try again. I read this very interesting book. Its title was The Lean Startup. That was very interesting because unlike any other business book, it represents most of the dirty stage that I mentioned earlier. The
Mm-hmm.
stage where you learn, the stage where you create questions and find the answers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that you have to go to the universities or you have to do master degree, no, but knowledge is important.
Okay.
And by knowledge, I mean you can get it from anywhere, from books, from online course, many things that's free. The knowledge, the very foundation is important. You can't just sell things randomly to the market. You have to learn, and the learn will help you to grow. The rest of it was just doing all the business stuff. But yes, because the very first stage was vital. I mean, if you failed in the first 5 months, you will lose the spirit.
Mm.
That's why you need a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
like the one who will, sometimes we can't see the future
Mm-hmm.
because we feel like it's so hard. I can't do this. It's not profitable and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it is very useful to have a mentor who helps you to remind you that you were a girl with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just hard, but hard does not mean impossible.
That doesn't mean impossible. I
Yeah,
like
so
that.
first have the knowledge as the foundation of your business, and then find a mentor that will help you to stay sane
Mm-hmm.
and remind you that hard is not impossible. And the third was just, well, do it as others do. Maybe you will get your hand dirty, but that's fine. That's the business in the beginning. Don't expect it to be easy because, oh, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Many of my friends and many others think that it is very nice to be a woman
Mm-hmm.
to run a business
Mm-hmm.
because she will have more time with the children. If
Mm-hmm.
that was the one that you think, you are wrong,
Okay.
because business takes a lot of your time. I think I have done a master degree. I have did work in a company. I did stay-at-home mom, and I become a mompreneur. I have been in that roles. To me, running a business is one thing that was unpredictable, I would say. So don't think that you will have more time with your children if you become a business. Yes, it is right, only if your business is settled. Earlier in the very first stage, you have to sacrifice the time. Either you sacrifice the time with your child or you sacrifice the time for yourself. As for
Mm.
me and my husband, we don't want to sacrifice the time with our children. So we play with our children during the day, but we sacrifice our time during the night. So
Mm.
don't think that having a business was an easy way. If you think about that, stop and think again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as easy as you think. But once, maybe later, 6 months or 7 months or 3 years later, maybe you can say it because you have built the system, you have already built the team, everything runs automatically, and you can just play with your child. But it was long before that happened. You have to get your hands dirty and sacrifice time, either your time or your children's time. That's your choice.
And that's a profound tips from this person who have done everything, every role herself.
Yes, because when we did the master degree, everything was under our control, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like going to the class, you can quit the class.
Mm-hmm.
But not in business. If you don't want to go to the office, but you have a problem, you have to come. You can't say, "Oh no, I don't feel like going out." No, it's not a lecture. It's not a
Mm.
class. It's a real case. You have to come and solve it. In the university, we have those kind of deadlines.
Yes.
If we miss one, maybe we can do it one day after the deadline. But in business, no, you cannot postpone the deadline. If it's urgent, it's urgent. You have to solve it now, it's now. It's not like I have a baby, I have to babysit for a while. No, if you have it now, you have to do it now. Think again. If you want to have more time with your child, just be a stay-at-home mom. Don't do a business because starting a business was messy and dirty.
That's why from Kakha Series. Thank you very much, why, for sharing your tips and basically your time for being here. That was an amazing sharing. We're gonna put your Kakha Series link to social media under the description. Thank you all. Stay tuned.
Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
So, what's the difference between Kakha Series and other children clothing line?
The unique difference that we tap into a very niche market where we go down family series. Ya, sorry Ran, ada tamu.
Go, go.
Dulu bentar ya.